A brief history of woman from a man's perspective. So the reason why I chose this to talk about is because I see this trend of distrust between both parties, the man and the woman. And I want to get ahead this trend before it gets out of hand. So we have situations like Adam and Eve and Bonnie and Clyde. And it makes us think, okay, why is it that Eve is the one that we blame and Adam we have sympathy for? She listened to the serpent, he listened to the woman. Why is it that Bonnie and Clyde ended in flames? Like it was a disaster, it was a shootout, their car got shot up. That's not the point. Let's take, for instance, we have um, nowadays where there's men trying to make decisions for women and their birthrights. I'm not politically motivated. I just want to touch upon it since it affects more than half of our population. If a person starts forcing decisions that can be dangerous, not just for the woman, but also for the man, for everybody, what's going to happen 5, 10, 15 years from now when more women are like, oh, we don't need men. They start being more self-motivated. They start being more not independent, but self-reliant. And they say, oh, they've done us dirty. Let's take it back to when the early 1900s, when women were just supposed to be the housewives. And there was times where they couldn't vote. And there was times where they were homemakers and they weren't supposed to work. Okay. Men were more um, misogynistic, meaning it's my way or the highway. You're a woman, you're a child, do what I say. If you don't like it, leave. All that forcefulness, all this conceitedness, it stays with us. It affects our DNA, it affects our genes. And that makes it so, okay, later on, okay, yeah. So back when I was doing this, okay, let me give it the feminist movement and say anytime a marriage isn't a divorce, um, the kids go with the woman. The household, the money, the finances, half of it goes to the woman or the person that makes not as much, less than the money maker. It can be the man sometimes. Um, we have to realize that people like that have meetings that are more removed from public life do this to divide and conquer. Let's touch upon another taboo issue that everybody doesn't understand and is trying to learn how to be respectful about, even me included. The LGBTQIA plus movement. Um, it wasn't until the last time I opened up a study Bible recently where I realized that the rainbow originally was a covenant between Noah and God. He said, when you see the bow of the rain, the rainbow, that means the storm is settled. Remember, he set out the raven, then he set out the dove. And then the rainbow was like, okay, this storm is over with. And then they got appropriated thousands and thousands of years later to mean it's the symbol for homosexuality. Why do you think they did that? Let's take another example. Um, they have it so the foods that we eat, the water that we drink, the plastics that we use to sit things in boxes and packaging, um, is horrible for our immune system and our um, intimacy organs. It's like, okay, what does that mean? There's more, there's always been more girls being born than boys, but now um, it's harder for women to conceive. It's less testosterone than men. Okay, let's take it another angle. Why is it that school systems, as far as I know, there's mainly a trend towards public, is indoctrinating. Indoctrination, meaning I was saying, why is it that school systems, mainly public, are making it so? Did you see that law that was passed in California about how before it was frowned upon for teachers and staff and counselors to tell parents that their child is experiencing gender fluidity? Now, after the law passed, it's illegal. So the child can have a gender change without the parent even knowing that a child was thinking about it, that a child was questioning if they were a girl or a boy, and become a whole different gender. So remember I said the LGBTQIA plus movement, right? Lesbian, gay, bisexual. I forgot what the I stands for. Transgender, queer. Let me preface this by saying, when I was getting my training for being certified in hospitality, I met a really cool queer person that um, had an operation on their chest that was born masculine. And I finally, after the third day, I asked him, I was like, how do you choose to identify? That's it. That's the only lack of communication that the straights and homosexuals are having. We're trying to tell them what to think, and they're choosing to snatch that rubber band back. Oh, so I know that's not what we're used to, but keep in mind what happened, like I said, with the early 1900s, the woman in the household and not having a vote. You know what time and day and age we're in. Long story short, also, before I say that, when I was in high school as a freshman, I did something called the GSA, the Gay Straight Alliance. And at first it was because there was this bisexual girl that I had a crush on and she invited me. I was like, what the heck is GSA? She said, Gay Straight Alliance. And then she was like, are you homophobic? Like, am I scared of gay people? I didn't know how to respond. So I was just like, okay, let me go spend some time with her after school to just, and then I was like, okay, there's gay people here, there's bisexual people here, there's straight people here. Feel me? As a straight person, Gay Straight Alliance. And then I understood, okay, they're still human. Not all of them are grooming. They're just expressing how they feel sexually. Now, on the side note, I did get ragged on a lot by my homies. It's like, oh man, so you gay now, this and that. Trying to, peer pressure, trying to make me feel less than and belittle me. But, I got thick skin, so it didn't affect me. And over time, my character proves who I like, who I'm around, the quality of women, the kind of women that are attracted to me, and how I move with them. It's obvious that I'm straight. But getting back to the GSA thing, it opened my mind and it helped me realize, okay, I don't have to agree, but I do, in a way, have to acknowledge this is how a person feels. So I say all that to say there is this demon that has both genitalia. And when a person has both private parts of a male and a female, they become that demon. And as more and more of those occur, I feel bad for the people that make that decision because they might still have their soul, but they don't have their body anymore. They don't have their mind. All those chemicals that are being flushed through their blood because of the drugs that they're being prescribed that was not meant for their body. It's part of an agenda. And I'm not mad at the people. I'm mad at the situation because we've been indoctrinated. Indoctrination meaning basically gaslighting, spread falsehoods throughout the last couple of generations to believe what is wrong to be true. And I feel like we still have plenty of time to learn the errors of our ways. And now that the information is out there, decipher and decode what is real and what isn't. With this, your heart. With this, your gut. And with this, your intuition. So to highlight the reason why I titled this A Brief History of Women from a Man's Perspective is because we see all these trends about, oh, don't be a simp or red pill movement. It's like, that's neither here nor there. Just because a person has an opinion doesn't make it a fact. Every human is equal, regardless of race, nationality, orientation, preference, assets, resources, or connections. It's all about connectivity, right? The internet is connected. People are connected. Energy is connected. So the brief history of women referring to we as men have set bad examples for them. And the way that I'm raised, I know it's more natural for men that go through progress to become leaders and women that go through progress to be nurturers. And we cannot compete with each other because we both have different roles to play. So hopefully you got a lot out of this. This has been a Lance Stance. Thank you.